Yo, 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 yo. What's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? Peace and love. Peace and love, everybody. Happy Tenacious and Truthful Tuesday. Welcome back to another episode of SRDaily. I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Marston. You're tuned into episode 555. Triple nickel. Triple nickel on this motherfuckers. Peace and love. Peace and love. Sefusi and Kofa. My brother on the check-in, my brother, my big brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your presence in my life daily. Appreciate your efforts that you make as a professional revolutionary, chair of the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition. I appreciate your presence in the community, man. I appreciate the work that you do, the energy that you put out, brother. I appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate your wisdom. I appreciate your understanding. Eddie Kruger on the check-in 2.0. Not the 1.0, but the 2.0 double. You know what I mean? You have to come back, bring it back one time. I appreciate you too, my brother, your presence, your energy, your love, and support. Woo! Baby, my energy is up. Energy is up. Yesterday was a beautiful, crazy day. Every day has its beauty. Every day has its craziness. Yesterday was no different, right? But it was a beautiful man in Jersey. Time with my brothers came out to support Eddie Kruger, Sefusi and Kofa. Definitely appreciate that. Taking that trip in that cold, getting Ubers canceled, right? We're gonna talk about that later. But yeah, today's a day, man. Today is Tuesday, February 3rd. Just keeps going. Time just keeps going, man. I was definitely, we're gonna talk because I was deeply moved, man, by the brother yesterday who I met before. Right, deeply moved, man, by his share about his wife. This work is so important. This work of intentionally building community, right? Through all of the different avenues, through activism, through business, through art, right? Through all of the avenues when we intentionally come together to share. Yesterday was to share on a little bit on brain science, right? A little bit on NSLM. We're gonna talk about it, man. It's had to pivot yesterday, right? Yesterday again was crazy. The transportation delays, the craziness when we got there. Pivoted a bit, but life is about that, right? Life is about adjusting, man. As they say, as we've said here on the show, you got a plan and God got a plan. So you want to make God laugh, tell God your plans. So the man plans, but Allah is the best of planners. It's a plan that's beyond our understanding. It's a plan that's beyond our comprehension. It's a plan that's beyond our planning. We can plan all we want, but listen, sometimes the shit don't go the way you expected it to go. Shit don't go the way you planned it to go. And you got to be able to pivot, man. You got to be able to switch it up. You got to be able to change gears like in the instant. Right. But yeah, we're gonna get to the show. Once again, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Marston. This is episode 555 of SR Daily. Moving right along in week 112 weeks doing the show. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live, Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. 5 days a week. We are here. Let me hit the share button a little bit, share with a couple of folks. Then we get a couple of folks in the chat. Man, I'll be sharing with folks. I'm trying to see who the folks that be tuning in, man. I'll be sharing with folks. They don't even be motherfucking checking in. I be like, these motherfucking suckers, right? But I get everybody busy. Everybody got their own thing. Some people at work. Some people are just sleep. People are working out. Some people just don't check their social media like that, right? There's a lot of reasons. So I ain't taking none of this shit personal. You know what I mean? Taking none of this shit personal. It is all good. It is all divine. I ain't stressing over a damn motherfucking thing. But, we got to share it, man. We got to share it until we don't got to share it, right? We got to share it until we are number one and everybady's checking in. And I think what's going to help that is if we are not on so many platforms, right? I've really been in the back of my mind thinking about cutting out IG Live. Right, maybe SR Daily is a Facebook Live show, right? We get sometimes IG people will come through IG, that's a fact, right? But I think we get most engagement through Facebook Live, right? So yeah, man, it's something to think about, something to consider, something to ponder, right? As we continue to build, as we continue to grow, as we continue to produce daily, right? It is something to consider, something to think about, man. So we're gonna figure this thing out. But yeah, I think one of these shows, this show, will probably be Facebook Live. I think one show will probably be YouTube Live, right? And yeah, and something may be IG, right? IG may be used for something weekly, something like that. Not exactly sure, but we're gonna figure this thing out because the three platforms again, it's cool. StreamYard does allow that multiple platforms at one time, which is dope. I love StreamYard for that. And the phone is IG, right? Because StreamYard doesn't allow IG, or it does, but then it doesn't save. And I was having trouble saving the shit on IG anyway. A couple of episodes last week. But yeah, man, that's it, right? We're gonna get to the show. Again, I am your host, LaShawn Sherry Marston. Mona Love on the check-in, baby girl. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate your presence always. Special girl there, man. Special girl. Special woman, not a girl. My bad, right? Empress Autopsy, peace and love. Empire Autopsy, peace and love. Thanks for tuning in. Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026, episode 555, Triple Nickel. We're going to start with our first segment of the day. Today's first segment is a phrase of the day. Today's phrase is three words that I actually used to create the grief support group, our weekly grief support group. Together we heal. That is our phrase of the day. Together we heal. Together we heal. And this is a phrase that I hold deep in my heart. I know that I've personally experienced a lot of pain. And although I've done a lot of work on my own, a lot of work in isolation, I don't think I really fully healed, right? A lot of shit until I was in community, right? In community, whether it was, my ex-wife, whether it was, right, like individuals, right? Like still community because it's more than one person, or it was actual group settings, right? There were some things I was able to heal. Most things I healed in community, man. Again, I don't think healing happens in isolation, right? I think a lot of our pain, a lot of our hurt, a lot of our heartache is tied to those in our family, tied to those in our community. Therefore, our healing, even when we think it's individualized, happens in community, right? An example, a lot of my friends and I, we have friends who were killed, and we have friends who were killed by other friends, right? Who we all hung with at different points, right? We hung with these two people and one killed the other one. We hung with these two people, one killed the other one, right? Some of us seen the shit happen. Some of us seen friends kill friends. That healing does not happen individually. You go to therapy, a person goes to therapy. That healing happens in community when people just share their experiences, people share their feelings, right? And then because we're all on different levels, right? We're all in different spaces. We are able to hold space for each other, right? We're able to kind of extract more from each other, more honesty, right? More transparency, more vulnerability. That shit happens in community. That shit happens when we are sitting in circle. That shit happens when we are sitting together in space and we're sharing, right? That's so from that concept, from that model, from that knowing, that's how we created the grief support group that we've been doing now almost 4 years now. This is the 4th year that we've been doing it each and every Thursday in Queensbridge at the community center, 6 to 8 p.m. Start with meditation, ending with some food. There's been some incredible breakthroughs in that space, right? I've healed in that space. Started that group. I mean, for a lot of reasons, started it. A lot of young people in my neighborhood whose parents were gone, dead or in jail. A lot of my peers, my friends who again have been killed. And then my own shit. And at that time when I started it, I've been talking about it for a while. But when it was a couple of months without my children, it was like, nah, I got to start some shit because like I'm angry and I need a space to heal, to talk, to share openly, right, with some folks. And since doing it in 2022, again, there's been some incredible breakthroughs in my own life, in the lives of people who have come, some have gone, some have come, some have stayed, right? And there's a space, man. There's a space that's always there for folks to drop in. There's no commitment. You got to be here for 6 months. Nah, come as you need, right? And people have done that. People have come when they need it, right? They come when they need it, then they feel good. They're like, all right, I don't need this no more. And that's exactly what it is, man. It's just a space for you to get what you need, give what needs to be given, contribute to the space, and then when you're done, that's cool. It's perfectly fine. I can't remember how to say that fucking word. Mitakuye Osayen, right? Mitukaye Osayen. I forgot what is it. We are all relatives, or to all of my relatives, or something like that. I remember getting that term from one of the chiefs, one of the Native American chiefs up in Ithaca when I was on native land many years ago, right? I remember getting that, and I posted a photo with that phrase, with that saying, right? We are all relatives, or something like that. Please refresh my memory. Right, Mac from the Jingna session you came to in Newark. Appreciate you, Lenape Land last night. Gratitude. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Give thanks for presence. Give thanks for showing up. Deep gratitude. Deep gratitude. Great work, spot on. Oh Yasin. Yes. Give thanks. Yo, listen, we're gonna move on to our second segment of the day. Today's second segment, our need to know news of the day. We're gonna talk about yesterday. Yesterday was a lot. Getting to Jersey, all type of transit delays, delay getting out my home, delay on the freaking first bus, the train, delay in Newark, Uber's canceling on us. But it was all divine because the Uber that we end up getting in, right, Eddie Kruger and brother Frank Brown, Sefu came with me. The Uber that we end up getting in Jersey, it was perfect. The black man, right, who also have been through some stuff similar to what I've been through, what many of us have been through, being incarcerated, right, losing people who he loves, right, friends and family. But he's been home a bunch of years and draws Uber and is into real estate and is into tech and has family who's into dope shit, right, doing dope shit. Brother has a fish and chip spot in Harlem. Brother has a medical carrying company or a medicinal carrying some shit. Right, but like businessman who wants to do some shit. He actually wants to do some shit, wants to do some real estate stuff, share some real estate info with young people in Newark. Right, so we exchanged contact info again. That was divine because had I been there 15 minutes earlier on time, had I been like that wouldn't have happened. And so again, I like to think that every single thing happens in accordance with divine alignment. Every single thing happens as it should, for purposes sometimes beyond our understanding, right? Get there. I'm like, okay, take my charger out. Again, I got my bag. I got my brain in my bag, right? Right, I got my brain model in my bag. I'm like, I want to set that up, right? I got a speaker. I got my headset, right? I got my live stream device. Kid goes out, get his friends, comes back in. Yo, somebody's having a seizure. We run outside, right? End up nobody was having a seizure. Just a brother was having a tough time outside, right? Tough time with some stuff that he had going on in his life, but he wasn't having a seizure. But so that kind of threw stuff off and came back in, and then now people are starting to come in, and so we already behind, right? Don't want to take more time to set up, but it was perfect because I was able to pivot, and all good. Share some stuff. Brother comes up. Brother says, got some stuff, right? Something I said sparked something, triggered something, ignited something inside of him, and he shared some shit. Now I met this brother before. Met him a couple years ago. Things were different than they are now. So what he shared last night was the brother shared that he had lost, and some of you know about this, some of you may know about this. On Thanksgiving Day 2025, he lost his wife and his sister-in-law, and I believe his 3-year-old niece in a fire. If I'm not mistaken, he said that it was fire. He got out. They got out. He and his wife went in to get his father-in-law. They got him out. Then his wife went back in to get her sister and her niece and didn't make it out. And he said he froze. And that was tough. All right. So he lives with regret every day. Right. They do have a son, a 10-year-old son. And then there was some stuff shared afterwards. There's some comfort, of course, give us some comforting, some love. But there was some perspective shared, right? And I believe he took what was shared. He took it, he felt it, he embraced it, right? Cried. We hugged, right? Then everyone hugged. Gave him that brotherhood energy, that communal energy. Again, we heal in community. right? Letting each other know that, yo, it's okay to cry, it's okay to feel, especially as black men. It's okay to fucking feel. It's okay to be sad, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to acknowledge that maybe you are afraid, that you are afraid, right? You don't know what to do, you are confused. All that shit is okay. It's okay to be a human, right? It's okay to be human. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are light plasma, but we are still human. It's okay to be human and to feel all of the feelings that come with being human, not just the strong, not just the happiness, not just the anger and violence. No, it's okay to feel everything in between. The sadness, the confusion, the hurt, the disappointment, right? The regret. It's okay to feel all of that shit. And then to express it in ways that like not detrimental to you or those around you. It's okay. You don't gotta like destroy everything. You feel some shit, right? Yeah, man, that was a lot. That was heavy. Again, when I shared that with Mona said that she knew about that story, right? She heard about that, right? Some people that she works with, one of their peoples was one of the sisters, right? Don't know which one. But I brought that up today as the need to know news, right? Because we need to know that story. We need to send that brother some love, right? Brother, I think his name is Josh, right? We need to send him some love. We need to send his son some love. And this situation or the many others, unfortunately, that are similar to the situation where both parents or one parent passes and a child, right, is a child remains, young child, especially when they're young, right? Single digits to early mid double digits and even teens, right? Mid-teens, late teens. Child, especially when they're younger, they need more love. Children need more love. I remember, again, completely different scenario, completely different situation. I was 11 when my dad transitioned, and that was the most painful moment of my life. He died of an illness. I did not know he was sick. I knew nothing. I left for vacation, right? Like my mother and father sent me away for the summer. My mother brought me back early, told me, you know, your father loved you, right? My father had passed while I was gone. Right. And then they actually brought me back early so I could, you know, attend the services, get ready for the wake, the funeral, and all of that stuff. But children need love, and with love, children need truth, right? Back then, that was 30 years ago, right? So 31 years ago, 95. Back then, people would say, you know, and it was so like, to me, in my humble opinion, in my perspective, it was insensitive. People say, yo, you know your father's in a better place. What fucking better place than being here with a son? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, right? Your father's with God. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know. What I've learned and what I teach my children, right? What I've shared with my children when their uncle, my brother, transitioned in 2018, right? My sister transitioned 2016, but at the time, my sister and I weren't talking, so they don't know my sister. But my brother came home from prison, families reconnected. They know my brother, Uncle Anthony. When he passed in 2018, what I taught them was, because he was around, right? He would come see us. We would go see him. We would go see him at my sister's crib in Hollis, Queens. We would go see him in a hospital. We went to see him when he was in hospice. We went to go see him. And so they know him. We went out to eat together, right? Before he went to hospice, we did all of the things. They know him. And they were sad when he left, when he transitioned. And what I told them was that he was a superhero. He was a superhero who gained the power to leave his body whenever he wanted. And he left his body. But in leaving his body, right, he will never come back to that body. That body is gone. He let that body go. But in leaving his body, he became one with the wind and the air and the snow and the rain and the sunlight around him and the leaves and the trees and the plants. He became one with their breath. He became everywhere at all times. And anytime they want to see him, they can close their eyes and they can focus and they can see his face. And anytime they want to hear him, they can close their eyes, they can silence the noise, and they can hear his voice and get his guidance. That was truth. Now, some can say that means a better place. But saying that shit like that, the fucking better place, what better place than with me? Saying that invisible everywhere, all around you and inside of you, in your heart and in your mind and in your flesh and bones. I think if someone would have told me that when I was 11 or when I was 12 and I was depressed and I became fucking suicidal in my teens, if somebody would have gave me that wisdom, that truth, that understanding, I may not have, the depression may not have lingered. I may not have even got depressed if they would have told me that from the beginning. Even deeper than that, if we have conversations with our children that one day, like I told my children, right, one day I'm not going to be here. And I don't know when that day is. I don't know how it's gonna happen. Slip, trip, and fall. Somebody could kill me. It could be a bunch of different reasons. I don't know. I can't. I'm not gonna. I can't imagine. I can't think about that because I don't know. But one day is gonna come when either you, one of you, or both of you are gonna leave before me, or I'm gonna leave before you. Having that conversation is tough. But my mama used to say the only thing promised to us in life is death. And then she would say, don't talk about death. So that was like real confusing. But I gave my children the only thing promised to us in life is death. And we're going to talk about death. What is death? There's no such thing as death. There is transition, right? There is transition. There is ascension. We come into this body. We will leave this body, right? And again, we don't know when. We don't know how. We don't know where we'll be. We have no control over that. That's beyond our control, beyond our understanding. We don't even need to think about that shit. What we do need to think about is what are we doing with the life that we have here? And how are we preparing those who are younger than us, our children, our nieces, our nephews, our younger siblings? How are we preparing our people, period, for when we're gone? Preparing them mentally and emotionally, right? Spiritually, giving them that wisdom, giving them that insight that if they don't have, it may help them. Again, I believe wholeheartedly that the young person I was, the young, inquisitive, intelligent young person that I was, if somebody gave me that wisdom, I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Live video paused. All right, live video back. IG be tripping. This is why we might gotta focus on Facebook for this show, man. Because IG they don't be low on my videos. They be cutting me off when I talk about real life shit, all type of shit, right? But yeah. Right. Somebody gave me that wisdom, I would have been okay. So we send love to this young man, we send love to this 10-year-old. I reached out to get the brother's name and all his info because I thought I had it, because again I met him before a couple years back, but I didn't have it. But I reached out to get his info. I invited him to Queens, right? They live in Jersey, but I invited him to Queens to the grief support group that we do weekly. Separately from that, I'm willing to go back out there and meet with him and meet with his family and facilitate a session on grief. Go back to the community center, facilitate just a healing session for the whole community, right? Because we need healing, man, and we need people to help facilitate. Because sometimes it's tough. People don't know how to bring it up. People don't know what to say. So you need somebody who's comfortable saying the tough shit, right? And I'm comfortable saying the tough shit. I've been dealing with grief my whole fucking life, all types of grief. Again, parent, siblings dead, divorce without my children, friends killed by friends, freaking financial struggles, home struggles, health struggles, all types of things that causes grief. I've experienced. And of course, there's some things I didn't experience, but I've experienced a lot, experienced enough to learn how to facilitate a discussion. But let's move right along to our third segment of the day. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, send love to brother Joshua. Sending love to his son and family. Right. Give thanks. Let's move to our third segment of the day. Today's third segment. Let's check comments here on Facebook. Fool said, death is not grounded in science. It has no material basis because energy can't be created or destroyed. Absolutely. It is eternal and everlasting. Thus, the biblical truth that life is eternal. Life is everlasting. Right? Life is everlasting. Life goes on. People say in the next life. I get that. That means a life that's not physical, but it's one life. It's continuous. It's continuum. Right? It's a continuum thing. Right? So Fool said the group has helped me overcome divorce and homelessness because of the grief support group. Gratitude, brother. Gratitude. We have to not be ashamed about asking for help to heal. Ashe, my brother. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the messages. Together we heal. Yes, we do. Third segment of the day. Tip of the day. Today's tip is to be prepared, to give your best effort, to plan, to organize, and also in all of the planning that you do, be able to pivot when and where needed. Again, yesterday was crazy. I was able to pivot. And in pivoting, because I wasn't really going to get into so much of the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn aspect of the brain and what it does to assess a situation. I wasn't really going to get into that yesterday, but because I had to pivot, and because we had to run outside, there was some things going on. There was, again, delays in transportation. I got there. I had some slides, right? I had 7 short slides. We was going to go into that. We was going to do a meditation. We was going to do a regulation. We was going to talk about how to regulate your nervous system, right? And we talk about sirens. It's crazy in the story. We were going to talk about how regulation comes before motivation and any behavior change. We got to regulate the nervous system and how calm brain is a smart brain. I had a call and response thing I was going to get into, but I didn't get into it. And I'm okay because I read the room and I focused on what I thought, what I felt as someone who was tasked with facilitating yesterday was most relevant for the people that were there at that particular time. Again, I had no idea that bro Josh, I seen him there, but I had no idea that he had that experience. I had no idea that that was his story. No idea. But I went with spirit. I went with heart. And so, like, again, you plan. You give your best effort. You be prepared. I was prepared. Again, I had my slides. I had my brain. I had my speaker. I had all my stuff. I had my notes. I had I had some shit I wanted to get into. Got into a little bit of it, but nowhere near as much as I wanted to because I felt the space. And I said, you know what, we're going to talk about this. The young people had some questions that led down this path and ended up being absolutely beautiful. I like to think, based on the responses from everyone there, it was exactly what was needed. Connections were made, not just between people, but connections were made in people's minds. A young person said, when I was talking about when I was talking about how you can calm your mind and how like everything you do, right, you contribute, right, whether through your calmness, you contribute to the lives of the people around you, through your anger, through your sadness, you're contributing to the lives of the people around you. The young person said, so it all starts with you. And that was the point. That was the point. I wanted the young people there, I wanted the adults there to grasp that concept that your life revolves around you. What's going on in your world revolves around your energy, input and output. What are you putting out, right? What you put out a lot of times has to do with what you take in, right? What you take in from music, TV, listening to people, interacting with people, the food that you eat, all of that shit, right? Impacts and that's your input, your output, which is why I say eat better, think better, live better, because when you eat better, you think better, right? When you think better, you're able to put out better output. When you calm your brain and choose the highest path possible in any given situation, when any decision needs to be made, the better it's going to be, right? But yeah, that was the point. That was the point, to get our people to understand yesterday that it all starts with you. You are the focal point. You are the center of your universe. And everything around you revolves around you. Simple as that. Let's move right along to our fourth and final segment, family, before we get out of here. I appreciate you guys. We are going to get out of here soon. Fourth segment is, of course, always our build of the day. Today's build, I want to talk about living with regrets. Again, the brother said yesterday, what happened? He froze. He didn't go in there to save his wife. Somebody said, well, if you would have went in there, do you think you would be here right now? And then your son will have lost both parents. And it's crazy. Again, I know situations like that. Not so much a fire, but I know at least two situations where a car accident happened and both parents passed in a car accident. In my building in Queensbridge, my childhood friend Javon, him and his sister, what's his sister's name? I can't remember her name. But their parents were traveling. The father got to fix a flat tire. Car came, crashed, hit the car. Both parents dead. Another other childhood friends, Hassan and all of them, Kisan and all of them, their grandparents and their parents, father and mother, car accident. Both dead. Everything happens for a reason, right? So Jay-Z said, you gotta learn to live with regrets. Yes, you have to learn to live with regrets. You can regret, you can woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? Many shoulda, coulda, wouldas in life. We can't go back, though. We cannot go back. We cannot undo or redo anything that's been done, anything that's happened. We cannot go back. What we can do, the only thing we can do, is extract from it. We can learn from it. And I like to personally lean into my faith, which tells me that every single thing happens for a reason. Every single thing happens for a reason. Every single thing is in divine alignment, even if it's beyond my current understanding as to why it's happening. Again, my dad passed when I was 11. I was extremely angry for many years. I wish that he didn't pass away when he did. Until a couple of years ago, I realized that if he doesn't go when he's gone, right? I remember the butterfly effect. Life is good, right? Life is not ideal, but life is fucking perfect. I'm winning. I'm thriving. I'm making impact. I'm in a perfect position to get every single thing I've ever wanted. And I've accomplished all of my goals already. All my main goals in life, I've accomplished them. So like now it just becomes fun. But if my dad doesn't transition on that fateful day, August 14th, 1995, there's no guarantee that I will still be here. There's no guarantee that I will be who I am. So he went when he went. That's my faith. Every single thing happens for a reason. Every single thing is in divine alignment, even when it's beyond my current understanding as to why. Again, I didn't understand why my dad passed when he did when I was 11 years old. I didn't understand. But now, 30 years later, I fully understand. Right. And even though I don't fully understand, what I do understand, overstand, and understand is that if he didn't go then, life would be completely different now. If I'd even be alive. If he even went a day later, life would be completely different. Right. We talk about quantum fields, right? There's a field where he didn't pass in, he lived a little bit longer, and my life is completely different. Maybe I'm hooked on drugs. Right. I have 2 older siblings, right? He lived long for them, they were hooked on drugs. All right. Who knows? What we do know is that we're still here today. What we do know is that life is good today. And so we give thanks and we chalk it all up as just part of the fucking learning experience, living experience, which is life. All right. And guys, with that, that is our show. Sefu said that was an intense moment. It absolutely was. I'm glad that you were there. I'm glad that you've been giving me the strength that I need, my brother, to hold space in moments like that, to hold space for brothers and sisters experiencing those tough things and those tough emotions, right? You've definitely been a part of my support system. You definitely helped me endure. Again, the time without my children, that's been the biggest thing in the last fucking 4 years, all right? You helped me endure because you helped me endure. And Mona, you helped me endure, right? Because of you guys helping me endure, I've been able to, again, maintain my strength so I can hold space for others. And that's what I'm here for. World healer, right? Here to help heal the world, make it a better place. But yo, guys, that is our show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you guys. Once again, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Ray Marston. This is episode 555 of SR Daily. Please do join us tomorrow for Wellness and Wisdom Wednesday, episode 556. Same time, same place, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We're going to keep doing this Instagram Live shit until we go figure it out and make a decision at some point in the next few weeks to cut this shit off. But I'm going to love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. Remember, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up! Get up! The power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Peace and love. Peace, peace, peace.